another edition of the Empower Hour. I am Alpha
And I'm Hanifa.
and we're your hosts each and every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. We are back from a 2-week hiatus.
Yes.
So, we're back in stride again. Miss Hanifa was on travel. How was your traveling?
Lovely. Going home is always peaceful.
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Oh, the beautiful weather and sandy
Beaches.
beaches.
And the people and the food.
Yeah. So here we are, back again with you. This week we have a very special guests, two special guests in the studio with us, and they're here to talk to us about overcoming abuse. What does that really look like? We always talk about the abuse itself, but what I love and admire about you, Mrs. Marci, is that you taking the bull by the horns and you decided to do something about it. So, in the studio today is Mrs. Marci Walker and her son, very talented son, Shanti Walker. So the audience knows a little bit. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay. First, I'd like the audience to know that I am Madam Marci Walker because I'm married to James Walker. Like Madam C.J. Walker was married to Charles Johnson Walker. Okay, that's why he's Madam. And try to exemplify some of the wonderful, courageous things that Madam C.J. Walker did.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is reaching out to women to enhance their lives, make them stronger, and have career goals and skills.
Mm-hmm.
The other very, very important thing in my life is that I'm a mom of two sons. This is one of them. He's the oldest. And two grandsons. And I've been married for 46 years to the same man. And he's a really, really great dad and a wonderful, supportive husband. People tend to ask me, why domestic violence? Why are you so impassioned and trying to heal domestic violence problems? And I can't heal those problems, but what I can do is present a man or a woman with an alternative. Okay? So we're small peas in a big old ocean, okay, of people that care about other people. So in our small little way, we're trying to make a difference in the lives of women and men who have been affected by domestic violence in some way.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Shanti, how do you fit in to this ball of creativity? Tell us a little bit about who you are.
I'm Shanti Walker, like my mom said, the firstborn of two, and I've always had a passion for, beauty, fashion, making people feel good, making people look good. When you look good, you tend to feel good, and so using our abilities as stylists, we're pretty compassionate to people's issues and things that they're going through. A lot of times when they come to get their hair done, they are, right in the middle of some kind of terrible storm that they're dealing with. So we kind of end up becoming counselors, even, behind your chair, just, sometimes really not offering advice or whatever, but just a ear or, a hug. I had a client today that is going through some issues, and I could tell on her face when she first got to the salon something was going on with her, but once we got to the shampoo bowl, she just broke down crying, about an issue that she's dealing with. And I hugged her and talked to her, just gave her some support, because a lot of times your hairstylist can end up being a person that you definitely can share with and maybe even get some kind of good advice or something to that effect. But with regards to the domestic violence piece, we've been open now since 1994, and we've just noticed the increase in violence in the world, and so we wanted to use our platform for Madam Walker's Braidery as the salon to, my mom had the idea to launch the Self-Image Awards, And we've been able to kind of take the platform from the salon and now kind of branch off into another area with regards to the domestic violence piece.
And we're definitely going to get into that, the Self-Image Awards Foundation.
Right.
What led you down this road of hairstyling? Because I know you own your own salon at this point. Look, give us an idea of how that all got started.
Okay, about 55 years ago, I used to braid my baby sister's hair and neighbors, and as I got older, I wanted to do some styles. So, as my sisters who were older than me were having special occasions, I would do their hair and people would see it, oh, you did your hair. So, most of the time I did it for free, but sometimes they would hand me $2 or $3. It never occurred to me that this could be a career. I looked everywhere for a career and landed on some and stayed with AT&T for almost 20 years. But when I decided, well, I didn't decide, it would sit down in me by the Creator while I was flat on my back, recuperating from a horrible surgery because I had cancer. And when it manifested in me that I didn't have to work for someone else, I could create an opportunity for other people to work. It was so clear. Oh God, it was so clear. So I went about opening up Madam Walker's braidery in school. At the time, Shanti was in college. He was pursuing a career as a singer, and he's a fantastic one. And my husband said, if you want to retire from AT&T to pursue this, do it. And he was there and supported me, so we opened. The women that came through, most of them were on public assistance. Some of them had had their children taken away from them because of domestic violence situations. Some of them didn't have a home of their own to live in. And all of those things just kind of really, really resonated with me because here I had something that I could give to someone. I could give them positive reinforcement and a skill.
Wow.
So that's what we worked toward. And when my son came a few months later, I said, Mom, I'm done with college. And I love doing hair because I've been doing it since he was 14 years old. I said, all right, so come into the shop. He watched my other stylists. He watched me. And before 3 months was out, he was faster, more accurate, and more creative than anybody else in the salon. So that's what we did with Madam Walker's.
Hey, was it always a braiding salon?
It started off, we actually are the first registered braiding salon in PG County.
Wow.
First.
Wow. Historic.
And we started out braiding, only braiding because I really didn't know how to do locks.
Wow.
All of that was learning from other people, watching, reading, visiting the continent. All of that came into play as a result of us knowing that we were never ever going to use lye-based products or anything that would alter your curl.
So even from the onset, that was never part of the agenda?
Never ever.
Oh, interesting. And how long have you been in business now?
Since 1993.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were ahead of the curve. Right. Definitely ahead of the curve. So my question is, I know you have, now not only is it a salon, but now it's a school.
Right.
How did that come about and when?
Okay. So we started the school, I should say we started at Prince George's Community College teaching braiding. And we were there for 12 years. It became a course where you could get a credit. We fought hard because it started out with them telling me, we want you to teach a for-fun course. But the 5 students that were initially there morphed into 20 within 3-4 months. And before I knew it, I was creating a curriculum for over 200 people.
Wow.
The school let us know they had never ever had an elective course with a 200-person waiting list.
Wow.
to take my class. So
And that was fast.
Oh God, it was so fast before a year was up. The Washington Post picked up on it, and they did a story on us because this was historic.
Wow.
Next, Channel 5, the BBC in London sent a crew to interview us about why natural hair, why braiding.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is people want their own beauty. They want to create an atmosphere that shows who they are and where they come from. And we can help with that. So
Yeah.
and the school came from that.
Wow. Were you a part of that, Shanti, at the college, the community college?
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
I hadn't been a teacher really setting out to teach anybody anything, but just kind of watching my mom and then going to the school over the years, I become an extremely effective instructor who, I'm very passionate about people getting the techniques and things like that so that they can, use it to benefit their lives and that. So, I enjoy teaching now. It's very very empowering for myself and definitely empowering to know that you can enhance somebody's life with information.
Right. How important is it to use your gifts and talents to impact other people?
Well, it's extremely important. I believe one of my kind of visions, I guess, goals or whatever, is to just really show people the possibilities of things. So, where as far as natural hair goes, I combine my style aesthetics from being a chemical hairstylist first, then being a braider, then being a natural hairstylist, then being a loctician, combining all four of those styling aesthetics to create my styles. So they don't necessarily have like just that loctician kind of look or just that braid kind of look. It's a combination. So, we're able to send people into the workplace professionally, send people out, on a night to party and have a good time, and they can have a style that fits wherever they're going, and it'll be their own natural hair and their own natural texture.
Right. Men and women.
Men and women, definitely.
Absolutely.
And most recently, I just graduated barbering school and about 6 months ago, and now I'm creating hair replacement units and ways for people to be able to cover bald spots and bald heads. My mom just took a course in a similar product, cranial prosthetics, and so we're now trying to give people hair who don't have hair or who are missing hair. So it's like everything kind of begets the next thing. So it's like it just moves along and grows.
Wow, I love it. Well, tell us a little bit about this awards benefit. So now you are a hairstylist, you are a loctician, you own and operate a braiding school along with your family. Now, how did this Self-Image Awards Foundation come about?
As Shanti was saying earlier, we've become therapists as we stand behind the chair. Okay, so sometimes you see the bruises. Sometimes you see where a lock has been pulled away from the scalp, and you can't always jump right in and say what happened. Sometimes they need to feel you touching them, and they open up. People will open up to us and tell us because they've been silent, too ashamed, too embarrassed, afraid of people's judgment to tell them, my partner is beating me. My partner has hit me. My partner pulled these locks out of my head. I have all this makeup on my left eye because my eye is bruised. So these things that I saw just kind of said, wait a minute, these people need a place to give their testimonies. Because if they give their testimonies, they might save a life. And each one of us has the ability to save a life. It doesn't take a whole lot of money. It doesn't take a whole lot of people telling one person. And certainly, if we continue to tell people, you're not alone. I'm not judging you. because from the richest person to the poorest person, they are susceptible to domestic violence. And we all have to realize that we can't look down our nose at our family, because my sister was abused by her first husband. And I heard my brother say to her one time, if you're not going to leave him, I'm not coming to your rescue again. Okay? That's something we cannot do. We cannot do as people who love our black family. We have to remain non-judgmental. Try to tell them, here's some information that you might want to use. If you need to get away for the night, come to my house. So the Self-Image Awards birthed from me seeing these things
So it
and
wasn't
remembering.
a personal experience you've ever had, which is interesting because normally, me and Hanif was talking about this, normally foundations and things like that birth from people who had the experience themselves.
Yes.
But yours is more so just seeing the need.
Right, immediate, exactly.
That's how I know from my soul that there is a supreme being. Okay, because I didn't have that experience. But I certainly had empathy for other people who
Right.
had this experience, and I thought with my platform I would be able to make some kind of difference in a positive way.
So what was the first thing that you embarked upon to go to, what did you say to say, I'm gonna do something about this?
Right, something
What did that look
I
like?
talked to my baby here.
Okay.
I talked to him. He was like, "Okay, Mom." That's what he usually says when I come up with one of my schemes or ideas. "Okay, Mom, let's see how it looks." Anyway, I had, I believe it was 3 clients who had experienced domestic violence, and I had 3 clients and stylists. Okay, so we formed a little group, and we called ourselves the core group at first. So we renamed it because I like what self-image stands for. It is Sisters Empowered for Life by Faith. This sat with me, and I knew it was going to work to bring other women in. I said, now we have to get this information. How are we going to get this information out? We can't do it with beating people down. We have to give them something that's going to make them want to come. So let's celebrate people that have made a difference in the lives of men and women by giving them a skill so that they can be financially stable. We got 10 stylists from the East Coast and 1 from California, Dr. Joanne Cornwell, who founded Sister Locks. All 10 of them, including Shanti, were honored at the very first inaugural Self-Image Awards because sometimes people need to hear, I appreciate you. I see what you've done. I commend you and I celebrate you. So we did 10 honorees that year. Now over the years, it has been fed into my mind, you don't need to do that way. You've said thank you. Now it's time to really, really get into the water and have testimonies from people who have actually been in the trenches. So we started doing this fabulous hair, telling them to wear purple, putting them on the runway. They get to the end of the runway and they open up and tell us their story. And I have had phone calls and notes and letters from people who have said, thank you, it really did make a difference. There are men who have come to us to say, you know, Mrs. Walker, I thank you for doing this because I too am a victim. We don't think about the fact that there are men who get abused by women. We don't think about that, but it's real, very real. We don't think about men who are homosexual that beat each other, or women that are gay. that hurt each other physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. So all of those people have to be represented when we talk about domestic violence. And we have to try to address that and give them this information, phone numbers that they can call, people that they can reach out to that know therapy is key to this.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for your service to the community too. Shanti, how do you fit into the self-image awards? You are a man who wears many hats.
And there's one.
Literally and figuratively.
Well, as a performer and and a hairstylist too, I know that awards, banquets, and different dinners and things like that, especially with something such as a heavy topic as domestic violence, can be a little heavy all night dealing with that, hearing people's stories and stuff. So we just decided to kind of break the evening up by adding entertainment. So, guests will come, we'll have singers, dancers, African dancers, different things like that. We do a fashion segment, we do a hair show segment, which kind of lifts the evening up a little bit. And then, we invite other stylists in from, across the country to come in and do hair too, fashion designers and things like that. We also
Involve our own students.
Yeah, we also involve our own students that are graduates of the program to come in and style hair. We invite vendors to come that have different unique products to sell, so that Black businesses are definitely represented as well at the event. So it's like we try to cover a lot of different bases with the one particular night. But I know it's definitely an important part of the using this platform is, as a male, is to let other males know, not to be embarrassed to talk about these things. And one part of domestic violence that people don't even ever address is, like, as an adult, like, you might have been abused as a kid by your parent or by somebody in your family or whatever the case may be, and it's hard to shake that. Sometimes that stuff sticks with you and impacts your other relationships and how you deal with people in the future. So, it may not be that your wife beats you up. It may not be that your, spouse or whatever beats you up. But it could be that you're just dealing with some trauma from the past. And something like this, you might be able to hear something that sounds similar to what you've gone through as somebody is saying their testimony. And, you're in a spot where you can get information for therapy, for different things, so that you can face those challenges and try to look at them from a different perspective and deal with them.
As you guys store, do you have information around the store?
Yes.
Yeah, I was figuring that much. Because I'm like, because from the way it sounds, you guys already, you already started your work. So it's almost like an introduction once they come under you guys' blessed hands, as far as getting their hair done and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And they open up, because that's the start. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And then you guys being able to send them in the right direction, because most of the times people don't get help until they're really, really ready.
Yeah.
Because it's a fair or whatever. It's a number of different things. So being able to meet you guys, and as I'm listening, I'm just like, you have a gift, and your gifts have already led you in this direction. You can use your gift to heal.
Sure.
And that's what's happening here. You guys are involved in that individual's healing. So
Definitely.
yeah, I'm listening to it like, your gift can be used to help your community in so many different capacities.
Definitely.
Because the people who are doing here, listening to this, I'm sure they're not in their heads like, people talk to us about everything.
Yeah.
But you guys took it to another level, and I totally appreciate that.
And see, when you think about, like, Breast Cancer Society and just all the different, like, organizations and things that are designed to help people that are getting, like, big funding and grants and different things like that, like, we are totally doing this out of our own pocket. And it's, like, extremely expensive and extremely costly to be able to do this. So my mom's good, again, with guidance from God, to be able to say, okay, well, not only do we want to give an award to people who are giving back in the community, but now let's take the people that are the victims of domestic violence and give them scholarships so that they can come and attend the school for free. That's like one more branch on the tree, and again, being in motion and making things happen. So, as the awards grows, as the foundation grows, we're able to definitely do more and get more visibility with awesome shows like this, and prayerfully, somebody that can be able to fund or reach out and say, we like what you guys are doing, here's a donation, here's something to go towards what you're doing. I went through the same thing, or my mom went through the same thing, and we have the means, so here you go.
And it's good for your heart. It's good for your heart to be able to give something back. Those people that hold in their hands like this, okay, they can't receive anything because they can't give anything. It's a blessing to be able to give, I want to go back to something that you said earlier, because domestic violence is cyclical. We know this from evidence all over, information that we've gotten from everywhere.
Right.
That children as early as 10 months old, when you don't think they're listening and watching, they are. So House of Ruth let me come to see a therapy session with children that were 10 months old to 2 month old. And in this little sandbox,
10 months old to 2 years
2 years,
old.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
2 years old. So there was an 11th month old child sitting in a sandbox. And the therapist said to the baby, show me how mommy and daddy love each other. Show me nice mommy and daddy. And first the little girl took the two dolls, male and female, and she just was doing like this. And then she started crashing into each other. Crash, crash, crash. So this is a sign of violence, right? When we tell our children, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're not worth it, you're just like your damn daddy. When we say that to our children, it opens up a world of degradation to be accepted. If my mother and father who love me can say I'm stupid, I'm ugly, if they can say that and they love me, then the guy who slaps me across the face, he loves me. He said he loves me, so I'm going to just deal with that because it was probably my fault anyway that he slapped me and knocked my teeth out. This is how it starts, people. We've got to get to the kids, your babies at home. Tell them how wonderful they are. Tell them how God made them perfectly in His image. And keep feeding that to them all their lives. Then when someone hurts them, they'll know where to put that. Put it in the trash. It doesn't belong in your heart.
Wow. Shanti, did your mother always allow you the freedom of expression growing up? And, how did all this time, because when I say you were a man of many gifts, it's really an understatement. Because folks don't know that you are an awesome singer, you're a stylist, you're a showman, you're the bomb on the microphone.
Hey,
You really are, in my mind, a creative genius. You really are. I watch you work because I've had the pleasure of working with you on several projects.
Yes.
And to watch it go from nothing to fabulous is just crazy to me. So
my mom and dad. I'm been very fortunate to have, two very supportive parents. Anything I look at for longer than 2 seconds and say I think I can do it, they would be like, all right, let's go get lessons, or So I was just sharing with somebody this story the other day about, I think I was like maybe 13 or 14, and at this point, I had a real interest in hair, but I didn't have any materials or tools or anything like that. So Christmas morning, I woken up on Christmas morning and went to the tree, and they had bought me like this humongous like duffel bag full of like real curling irons and real spray and like rollers and brushes and just everything, you know. And it just said to me, because again, with domestic violence being domestic violence, I was always scared of somebody finding out that I knew how to do hair because of what they would say about me, you know, the stereotypes and things that go along with that, you know. And I was just trying to do everything to not have anybody, you know, ever put that on me. But once my parents were like, you know, were behind me and pushing me and saying it's okay, you know, it made me feel more comfortable and not really worry about what anybody was saying, you know, and let me just become a great stylist. So maybe like that's the first thing that they'll see, versus this guy that might, you know, might be gay, might not be gay, we don't know, because he likes to do this art. And that's kind of where I put hair. I put it as an art form. It's a form of sculpture and a form of expression, just like working in clay or something like that.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
It certainly is. Yeah, and I'm wondering who you would be if not Shanti Walker, the fabulous
I don't know,
stylist
working in an
superstar.
office or something. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what I would
He
be.
would not.
I don't know, but I'm just grateful though that the trajectory from my life was, you know, to be an artist, and then be able to use all the art forms together, the singing,
Yes.
the acting, the, you know, the everything. My confidence level is just on 1,000.
Wow. And
As
you
it
put
should be.
right, and you put all that and some into this Self-Image Awards event
Yes.
that you do annually. That's coming up.
Yep. On October 26th, 2019. Can you see that? Can you see that? This is a save the date flyer. And it is Sunday, October 26th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Crofton Country Club in Crofton, Maryland. The tickets per person is $65 and $125 for a couple. To get a table of 10 is $600. But today, my beloved, we are giving 50% off per person. If you call into this show, whoever is listening, you want to be at this.
Wow, yes you do.
It is the highlight of the season.
I'm a living witness.
It's a black tie affair, but here's the thing. Everybody is going to wear a fancy, beautiful mask. At the end of the evening, the person who has the most unique, fabulous mask wins a wonderful prize.
Yeah.
And
They also get a plated.
it's a sit-down dinner.
Yes.
It's a sit-down dinner. You're going to be served because you're too dressed up to go and stand in a buffet line, okay? And I know you're going to have your high heels on. Nobody wants to stand on line with high heels. So it's a plated meal. There's a beautiful turn-of-the-century pub in the golf club. So if you want to get your drink on, you can. We have entertainment. We have some wonderful, wonderful speakers coming in. From North Carolina, the Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Wale, and he is just an awesome, I'm not even going to give you all the stuff. This man is just an awesome lifetime achiever, and we're going to give him an award. Then we have a sister who's coming in from Baltimore, Corral Ralph, who has opened up 2 shelters, for women, by herself.
Wow.
Yeah. So we want to thank her and let you guys meet her. Thirdly, we're going to have Lakeisha Davis Smalls, who is a survivor and an awesome individual with a message and a story that is going to touch your heart and hopefully save someone's life. The entertainment is going to, I just can't even tell you.
Yeah.
And special guest from New Orleans, my sweetie and my son from another mother, Golden Scissors founder Glenn Jackson.
Oh wow.
Will be at the award, so I'm really, really happy about that.
Superstar studded.
Yeah, it's going to be star-studded. I can't, if I tried to tell y'all what my son does in terms of bringing the hair show
Oh man,
to the
I
awards,
tell you, I'm a living
you're gonna
witness.
say, that's somebody's mother talking out the side of their neck.
I can tell them.
See,
I can tell them because I'm a living witness, and I've been, and you know what? Now that I'm kind of similar, kind of sort of behind the scenes,
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
realizing all that goes into this
Lots of work.
program because I've been to some in the past where I'm just there to witness,
Mhm.
and it's a fabulous, and it's always different.
Yes.
It's always different
Yeah.
every
Yes.
year, and it's just like people are like cheering and on their feet and hooping and hollering. It
Yes,
becomes like
yes.
it's more than just a
Right.
banquet. It's
Yes,
like
it's a
it's call it
celebration.
just that,
Right.
right?
It's a celebration.
It's a
of life.
fabulous show, family. I'm
It
not
is.
just saying that. It's a fabulous show, and all the proceeds.
All of the proceeds are going back into the community to feed those people who want to learn to do hair in a professional manner. So they get all of their tools, they get a bag with the names on it, everything that they would need to go out into a salon and work, they have in that bag.
Wow.
Plus all that we give them from what we know and what we've learned over this almost 30 years of
Right.
working in natural hair care and braiding.
And you're accepting applications
Right
for people
now.
who want to be a participant in the grant.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if there's anyone who's listening who has some financial problems right now, who has been a victim of domestic violence, you love doing natural hair, and you want to go to the next level of professionalism, you should call us at 301-505-5313, or you can call Shanti at
301-237-6783.
It matters. I know it matters. When you can sustain your family's life and your own without having to count on someone who is causing you all of this pain and grief, whether it be psychological, physical, spiritual, whatever it is, when you can get free of that and live in your own self
Yeah.
and take care of what you need to, you're empowered.
Yes.
You're empowered, and that's what you need to send out into the world, and then you teach someone. I just want to give our motto,
Yes,
if I
please.
could.
Absolutely.
This was in the Bible, and I read it, but I had to make it fit. So it still has the same meaning, but this is how I translated it. When you give a woman a fish, she'll eat for a day. When you teach a woman to fish, she and her family will never know hunger. Hold on to that, because that's real. That is real. No one can take this power out of my brain or my heart. The only thing that will stop me is time and carpal tunnel.
I love it. And this truly is a community collaboration. It's a community effort
Yes.
because the community are those who come out to the war programs and give of their pockets,
Donations.
and things like that.
But
So
not only that, they give, when we have the silent auction,
yeah.
they bring those gifts for
Right.
people to win in the silent auction.
Right.
Okay? I don't scour them or buy them. People bring them.
Right.
Handmade quilts and cobalt glass ware, all that kind of stuff. Really nice things.
Right.
So the other thing is that the clients, the community that supports us from the top of PG all the way down to DC and Virginia, those people continue to come out and support us in any way that they can. In-kind services are very important because we can't do everything.
Right.
We have fundraisers all during the year, right? We had a photo shoot where we asked stylists to pay $150 to have their picture put in a magazine. They came out, and if you guys look in Black Hair Sophisticates, you're going to see some of our students and some of our friends who are stylists represented in that magazine. Then we had another fundraiser called The Throwdown. Was that fun?
That was.
It was hotter than blazes, but I want to tell you that we had a good crowd. The vendors were off the hook. Thank you, Al Kamar, who is part of our board now. Thank you. And we just continue to do everything because it's like Shanti says, we don't have grants. We don't have anyone giving us large sums of money.
Right.
So we have to do the fundraisers and we have to take out of our own pockets to do this. And I'm not mad because if God didn't let me do this hair, I wouldn't have anything except what I asked my husband to contribute. And he's retired. So if you can give your help and your support in any way, your physical presence,
Yes.
your strong back, your ideas,
Yeah.
bring them to us.
And all that is helpful. I think we kind of look at, sometimes we have a tendency to look at people like yourselves and like, oh, well, I can't, there's nothing I can do to help, but just buying a ticket and coming and sitting down in one of them seats is actually helping somebody
Yes.
Big time.
through their, but we don't see it that way
Right.
because it really is a community
Yes, it is.
effort. Picking up the phone and or putting $20 in your donation box.
Exactly.
All that, and it means that we are actually helping. I mean, we're not doing all the physical work that you guys are doing, the labor work, but
Nothing
we
is
are
too small.
helping.
No act is too small or too big.
Right.
So my neighbor, who's 80-something years old, and she comes over and checks on me, and I check on her. And I told her, I said, we're going to do this thing in the backyard. We're going to have loud music and stuff, so I just want to let you know up front that we're going to be loud. She said, can I help?
Oh,
Could she help? She was over there serving food and bringing me everything that I needed to make things work.
Not sitting around telling they making too much noise over there,
That's
and
what
I'll be
I'm
glad when
saying.
it's over. She's in the mix.
In the
In the
mix.
mix.
Thank
Wow.
you, Dolly, if you're listening.
Thank you, Miss Dolly.
Wow. Well, tell us one more time. We have got to the end of our program. Tell us one more time how they can get tickets.
You can get your. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes, right here. Right here. Yeah.
You can get your ticket by calling 301-505-5313. Or you can go to the Eventbrite page at Eventbrite page at the Self-Image Awards Unmasked. We are asking everyone to wear a mask, not all evening, because I know you'll be like, Bring your mask with you, because we have a special segment of the evening when these masks are going to mean everything. Okay? Bring your masks.
All right, family, come on. Let's come on out and support our brothers and sisters who are out here that need us, that are struggling through or have survived through domestic abuse. And as you know, I know all of us can name probably more than one
Oh, yes.
person off of our Rolodex that have been through that, if not ourselves. So
And let me say this
Yeah.
just to the barbers out there, you guys might be cutting the hair of abusers.
Right.
They may not want to share what they're doing with you, but while you all are doing your barber talk in the shop, just doing your shop talk, and if you saw this interview, maybe bring it up. Maybe bring up this conversation in the barbershop, and it might be an opportunity for somebody to say to themselves, hey, maybe I need to check myself. Maybe I need to get some therapy. Maybe, and if you are a barber and you need to contact us for information on therapy, different organizations and things like that to deal with domestic violence, definitely. Also, please give us a call, 301-505-5313. Also, If you're on social media, on Instagram, I'm Shanti Walker, Shanti Walker, on Facebook and also Instagram. And we're at the Self Image Awards Foundation.
The the
Self Image Awards Foundation on Facebook and Instagram.
Instagram, I don't use it.
Instagram. You can just get with me on Instagram.
You can go
Shanti
to
Walker.
Marci Walker on Twitter if you like.
Yeah, so we try to reach out to the folks.
We
you know.
are, and my old self. But okay, should I just say this to some stylists out there? What can you do? Do you believe someone when she tells you or he tells you he's abused? Do you keep whatever he or she tells you confidential? Her life may be at stake. Don't try to fix the problem for him or her or become her counselor. Do suggest she contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I'm going to give you a number when I'm done here so you can write this down if you like. Do display this poster in your salon's restroom or dressing room. We do have little cards that are small enough to put in a secure small place that tells you how to have a package that you can grab and go if you got to run. Okay? You have to have a safety plan in place. If it gets to the point where he says, I'm going to kill you, or she says, I'm going to kill you, believe it. Believe it. And as soon as he goes to work or leaves out or whatever, you have your little bag already packed with your children's birth certificates, their school information, a couple of dollars, some Pampers, whatever you need that you can just grab and run. And if you don't have that package safely in your house someplace, give it to a trusted friend and let them hold it. If you have to get away fast, do it fast. Go to a friend's house, go to family's house, and you have what you need there so you don't have to use the excuse, I gotta go back to get my so-and-so. That's something that I have experienced myself with a friend of mine who was being beaten. I said, you're gonna stay at my house with me and my kids. And she said in the morning, I'm just gonna go over there because I have to get my so-and-so. I said, please don't go over there, please. She said, no, it's gonna be all right. And she went in. As soon as she opened the door, I pushed my way in behind her. I know my husband wanted to strangle me, but I was scared for her. We got inside, the apartment was very quiet, like nobody was there. She walked back in her bedroom. The first thing I heard was,
Oh, wow.
and then the screams. She came running out. Her tooth was knocked back in her head. Her eye was already swelling. And I'm trying to get her, because I pulled that door open and he slammed it behind me, trying to pull her out. He slammed it. But he didn't have enough time to lock it. And my husband was on the other side of the door. He turned the knob and pushed the door open and grabbed my friend out of the house. So when someone tells you, have a plan in place, stay where you are. Don't give somebody the chance to kill you or to hurt you in a way that you can't come back from it. There are women in wheelchairs, there are men in wheelchairs, they have back injuries because someone decided that I don't want you to go nowhere. I'm shoot you in your back. I'm gonna stab you in your back. The 24-hour National Domestic Violence Hotline number is 1-800-799-SAFE, S-A-F-E. And if you are a deaf person and you can read lips or you have a TTY, go to 1-800-787-3224. Any salons that want more information on SAD, Salons Against Domestic Violence, can call 1-800 383-0210. Come on, family. We got to be together and save us. We got a deity out here that is straight from hell. And he's killing our men. He's killing our children. He's putting our brown babies in boxes, cages, having them wrapped up in aluminum foil. We already have all of that against us. Okay? We can't kill each other. We have got to be mindful that our legacy should be one of love and promoting the colored people of the world, because we are not really programmed to be violent.
That's right.
This is
That's
a
right.
learned behavior.
That's right.
We have got to do better.
Okay, family. Well, that ends our segment of the Empower Hour. We just asked that if you heard anything today that resonated with you or you think other people should hear as well, share the video and let other people know what's going on. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next week, take care of each other. Peace.